Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
This is a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. I want you guys to stay here and watch this entire video because I've got a lot of intriguing and amazing, quite frankly, things to show you. And it all ties in to what I've spoken about many times before, not just me, but other researchers, including military personnel, world leaders, who have all alluded to the fact that Antarctica is not what we're being told. There is something going on with it. It is critical, or at least plays a critical role to many of the UFO sightings and strange phenomena that we've witnessed in all four corners of this world. And so today, I'm going to show you something that I've discovered on Antarctica, but not only that, but we have some other footage and evidence that will prove that there are identical craft that have been witnessed on Mars and the Moon. And of course, I'm going to put the coordinates to all of these down below so you can check it out for yourselves. But a viewer of mine who was scouring over the ice and brought this to my attention, well, he was looking at this little chain of icy islands down here at the bottom of Antarctica. So let's go ahead and zoom in. And as he was scouring over this snow-covered mountain range, he discovered something that looked truly out of place. And upon further inspection, turns out to look almost identical to the typical flying saucers that have been witnessed on Earth over the past century. And if you don't see it yet, it's right here in the middle of the screen, just on the edge of this shadow being cast by this snowy hill here. And the shape of this object becomes apparent almost immediately. But not only that, and as we zoom in here, it's rounded and it's reflective. It's reflecting light back, just as we have seen countless times where witnesses have captured these metallic flying saucers that all give off the same metallic shine and reflections, exactly like what we're seeing here. If you're familiar with UFOs and you've studied the shapes of them, you'll have a few definite types. You'll have triangles, you'll have spheres, and you'll have saucers. And the saucer is by far the most well-known, some would say the most seen and witnessed, and it has a special history. We go back to World War II, where evidence has shown that the Germans had been experimenting and found success in the creation of their own flying saucer-like craft, using, some have said, back-engineered alien technology that they had actually retrieved from Antarctica itself. And as I'm showing you some of these leaked photographs here of these German craft, you can definitely start to see a resemblance to whatever we're seeing over Antarctica here. And so there's two specific satellite photos that you can find of this area, taken only a few days apart in August of 2005, literally just days apart. And when you go back to the original photograph taken just a few days before this one, we find that the object is completely non-existent. It is not there. And I'm showing you that here. So again, this gives us further evidence that whatever this object was, not only is it reflective, it looks metallic, it's in the shape of a saucer. In the imagery taken just days apart, the object is there, and then it is gone, giving us more proof that this object was mobile and it was passing by just as these images were snapped. So yeah, amazing find. I can only go by what I've seen. I've seen so many of these saucers, so many videos and photographs throughout the years. This is what they look like. And so I think we have an amazing capture and discovery here. So check out the coordinates for yourselves. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we will keep digging into the mysteries of Antarctica. So before we go today, I have some other amazing finds for you, which, as I said at the beginning of the video, we are seeing a pattern here on Earth, the Moon, and planet Mars of the same identical craft, or hallmarks of the same craft that was there. So first, let's start off with this new discovery by my friend StreetCap1, who was looking over some high-resolution moon images when he came across this gem here of an obvious triangular-shaped structure sitting down on the moon's surface, plain as day. And it was photographed from the lunar orbiter from about 60 miles above the moon, which would mean, and this is just a rough guesstimate, that this triangle here, it would have to be at least 1,000 meters or more across, if not larger. And so we have found evidence of these triangles elsewhere on the moon also. Here is another very famous photograph of a partially buried, triangular-shaped object sticking out of the lunar soil. You can see the shadow being cast down below it. And I want you to notice the straight walls and the perfectly rounded edges of this thing. Now, I want you to look at this, and I want you to remember the shape of it. Because as I said earlier, we have found identical craft, both on the moon and planet Mars. And I want you to compare this object here to this image here captured on Mars, showing an identical shaped object, once again, sticking out of the Martian soil. Notice the rounded edges, the triangular shape, and even this little centerpiece, this little domed part at the center of the triangle, and the same little dome appearing at the middle of the triangle here on the moon. So we know that there's evidence, both on the moon and Mars, of triangular objects, but what about these mysterious triangular-shaped craters that have also been discovered on the moon and Mars? Here is a very famous image taken from, yet again, one of the lunar orbiters snapping pics as it flew over the moon, where it was discovered a triangular indentation that almost looked like it was pressed out by a cookie cutter into the lunar surface. And likewise, these things have been found scattered all over the moon. Here's another image of a crater called qu'est, where this dark triangular shape was spotted perfectly sitting inside of this crater. Now let's head over to Mars, where if you remember, probably about 6 months ago, I posted a video on this magnificent triangular-shaped crater discovered on Mars. Again, pressed down into the Martian dirt with this cookie-cutter triangular shape. Either that, or there was something triangular that was very heavy that pressed down into the dirt and made this indentation. And I mean, look at this. It's undeniable. And so the big question is, what is leaving these triangular indentations on the moon and Mars? Well, if that's the case, and these are indentations, the object that would have to be there would need to take on a triangular shape. But not only that, it's also been theorized that these indentations come from pyramid-shaped craft that could have been sitting on Mars for thousands, who knows, millions of years. Similar to what we'd see in Egypt today with the pyramids of Giza, where, unbeknownst to anybody else, these pyramids have the ability to fly, to move. They're mobile. And that's been said about the pyramids of Giza. It's been theorized for many years that the pyramids on Earth could be these ancient spacecraft that have the ability to plant themselves in the dirt and then uproot themselves at will. And if you've seen the film Stargate, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, could that be what we're seeing here? And could the pyramid that left this indentation be one of the very pyramids that we have on Earth right now? So, let your clock tick on that for a while. And there you have it. Some amazing clear-cut evidence of identical craft on Earth, on the moon, on Mars. We have this new discovery by StreetCap1 of an obvious triangular structure sitting on the moon, and we have this new flying disc-shaped object discovered moving over Antarctica, visible in one image and gone in the next, taken just a few days later. So, you guys tell me what you think. We're discovering more amazing things every single day, and it's discoveries like these that got me into this research to begin with and led me to starting this channel. So, as always, thank you guys for stopping by. Be sure to share and subscribe on your way out, and I will see you all back in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.